How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Continues to Tick. I just want to start this video by saying this has all been an interesting road of a process. And by that I mean this dividend journey, this YouTube channel. And when this year started, I was looking most forward to just distancing myself further from what was and still has been the crazy year of 2020. Well, in a rather odd way, I got my wish. Time passed and I can only hope I've been using it appropriately, as here we are now, practically 3/4 of the way through 2021 already. Which in a weird way has felt like a blur. But August is here, whether we're ready for it or not. And sooner rather than later, summer also will be over before we know it. So make sure to find some time to get outdoors. It's nice out there. I don't mean to be super dramatic, as that's just my weekly reminder to you that time does pass. And take from that what you will. But how about we actually start the point of this week's video? Let's go ahead and add some visuals, add some music. Wait, maybe a little bit different music. There we go. And let's dig into my mind as to the reasoning why I personally no longer work overtime, and why possibly, or potentially, you may not want to either. But first, how about a small reminder to just hit that subscribe button and like button if you haven't yet already. I mean, you're already here. And it would mean a lot. And if not for me, how about for this picture of my dog immediately after giving him a bath the other day? Yikes. So how valuable is your time? Is it worth an extra monetary exchange rate? Our time on this earth is limited after all. And with this, we don't happen to live forever. Unfortunately or fortunately. But my understanding of life through 25 years so far on this planet is that today passes, whether we live or are alive today, or not. I mean, as far as we know, right? And as long as we're alive, we need to work towards this survival though. And part of this is working for a means of monetary exchange. Exchanging our time for money in order to eat, pay bills, buy necessities, and be in positions to take care of loved ones. But this exchange rate is quite delicate, and the balance of it all, challenging. As at times, you may find yourself giving away too much of your time for unequivocal return. After all, if you were truly to sit down and reflect on it, is your hourly rate at work worth double time wage when you now have less time to spend on you? How about if you were due to die tomorrow, for example? Would it still be worth this same amount? For me, I've learned to rather take better care of the money I do have than further exchange my valuable life for more time away from everything I'd rather be doing. I'd like to think of the clear and often mentioned distinction. Do you work to live or live to work? It's important from time to time to reflect on this and understand where we stand. For me personally, I'm in the camp of the former rather than the latter. Time is incredibly valuable to me, and I'm almost certain that I cannot truthfully place a monetary exchange rate on this time. And given that I see it every day, working as a nurse in a prison, one of the reasons why they punish crimes with locking those away is to take away a human's most precious asset we are handed at birth, which is free time. And it's quite ironic that here we are, on a daily basis, in some sort of way, not exactly the same, but doing it at work. And given that as soon as we're born, or as soon as we can remember, our first conscious memories, to think that we go to school, then straight to work, until we age and get old, work until we don't have to anymore, to then retire later in life, hopeful to still be in good health, to soon after die. If we're even lucky enough to get there, that also isn't guaranteed. That systematic process there is not one that I'm fully on board with. And because of that, I will not work overtime. I mean, to go through this whole process and to only work more on top of this, to further give away more of our valuable tool of time. I guess in summary, I'll say it like this. The last thing I'll be pondering on my deathbed, if given the chance one day, will not be, I should have worked more overtime. If anything, it may be, I shouldn't have worked that much overtime. And with that said, let's go ahead and wrap up this week's video with our portfolio review for this week. So here we are currently entering August 2021, currently sitting in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio at $32,443. This is with an overall return of 35.44%, which equates to a total portfolio gain of $4,780. So it's pretty neat. We're inching closer and closer to the 5K overall portfolio's gain mark. And I'm excited to actually someday, hopefully soon, be able to cross that. But with this gain, specifically from earned dividends, it's noted at $487 thus far. And from market gain alone, it's noted at $4,293. And although I forgot to mention at the beginning, this is from the all-time charts. Going to this past week's performance, it was a relatively flat week, but nonetheless, a positive green week, with an overall portfolio gain of 0.49%, which is pretty good with a portfolio size of $32,000. This equated to a total gain of this past week of $157, with $12.96 being from earned dividends and $144.70 being from market gain alone. And given that this portfolio is technically over a year old now, I can actually use the 1-year reflection mark here in the Jesse's cash flow portfolio. So over this past year, pretty similar to all time, but slightly different, sitting at 34.24%. So we'll see how that starts to shape up over time. And I'm curious to see. And here we are this week in the activity section. Starting here on July 28th, we actually got paid from Cisco $1.49 and also from Comcast $1.50. Given that the deposit was also on July 28th, it looks like these dividend payouts weren't able to actually snowball into this week. And given that last week I actually had a really big snowball, there's probably no cash balance to take from it. So here we are actually with no snowball action this week, with a total funnel into the portfolio of $498. But we carry on, and I'm not too worried about it. But here we are on July 29th getting paid from Oracle 87 cents. And here we are lastly on July 30th getting paid $2.01 from McCrath Rent Corps. So that's going to be it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. This YouTube channel has been fun, and now that we're in August, it'll be this month where eventually I'll be able to say I've been on YouTube for 1 entire year, and that's going to be interesting to say. And if we can get to the 500 subscriber mark by then, even better. But if not, this journey has been fun, and I'm excited for everything that's to come. I'm not planning on stopping the dividend portfolio or the YouTube channel anytime soon. If anything, just kind of like the visuals and the music, I'm going to continue to have fun and continue to try to make it better over time, incorporating more and more. But with enough of that rambling out the way, we made it through 7 days, and I'm excited to make it through another 7 days. And once those 7 days pass, I'll see you then next Monday. As always, take care.